Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, since we're so close to getting this thing running, let's see if we can build a carburetor for this Partner Pioneer P42. Let's build a Tillotson HS carburetor. We'll take it right apart, we'll put a carb kit in it, we'll set it up to settings that it should run, and let's freshen up this carburetor. 9 out of 10 saws that won't run, that have been sitting, need a carburetor. So let's get right to the bench and let's build a carburetor for this saw. Okay, let's get right to the action. It's a Tillotson HS carburetor that we built a throttle stop for. Hopefully it works. Okay, here's our holder. There's that little bracket that I built. I tack welded a nylock to it. Okay, this should ensure, because remember, this is a Husqvarna carburetor off of like a 266. In fact, it is. It's a late model 266 carb, and those had the idle screw built into the case. Okay, so let's start by pulling off the top of the carb. 4 bolts. Now, this could be the bottom of the carb. Some carbs are upside down. That's what made these carbs a huge breakthrough to chainsaws. In the old days, you had to keep the carburetor and engine up, straight up and down. And what the old saws did, oh, that screw's kind of tight. Yeah, it is. What the old saws did is you had to turn, you would undo a lock and you'd turn the gearbox and the bar and chain sideways to do a felling cut. Okay, and when carbs like this came around, these will run in 180 degrees around. It's been on there a day or two, hasn't it? Okay, find the little tab, pop it off. Oh yeah. Okay, this thing wouldn't have run. This is your pump side. If you have a saw that's not pumping, right here, see how these are stuck? Okay. These are absolutely stuck down to, there we go. Okay, that's not going to be good for anything. This carb's going to be in rough shape. Hopefully it still works. I have a couple more. Okay, rip this off. Throw that in the garbage. Okay, things you want to check. The screen in here. Okay. Do not blow compressed air into that or that screen will go flying. And if you don't have another one, well, guess what? You're going to be looking on the floor. Okay, there's pieces of gasket here. Okay, I'm just gently scraping this off. All in all, though, this carb looks pretty clean. I've seen worse. That's pretty plugged. I'm going to find something to see if I can unplug that. Okay, we got that all unplugged. Right there. Everything looks good. Okay, so this doesn't look too bad. Okay, that's your pump side. Again, I'll spray this off and blow it off with high pressure. You can use high pressure on this. I have a ton of Tillotson carbs, so if this cover's no good, I'll just grab another one, but this one looks like it should be okay. So hold on, I'll clean it up. Like so. Okay, now let's do your metering side. I'm going to blow this off so we don't get any of that in the carb. There we go. It's kind of cold in here tonight, but it was +5 today, Celsius, so I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, into the 40s. My shop's starting to flood. That is a sign of spring. This shop floods every spring. And I know I've been saying this for a couple of years, but I really got to get my button gear. I would like to get the other shop poured. The idea is to frame a studio in there that I can heat all the time, and then I don't have to struggle so much. Again, lots of dirt in there. Now these, be careful with. Let's see if I can even get this off. This thing's been together for a long time. There we go. Okay, peel it off all the way around. 99% of saws that won't start, this is the problem. Exactly like this. Okay, now on these, this happens all the time. You see that little nub there? That clips into here, like so. Guys pull these off and they bend that lever up. And then you have a saw that floods profusely all the time. Okay. Undo this screw if I can. Okay, I'm going to get a bit of screwdriver and undo that screw. Wow, was that screw stuck. Okay, now gently, I don't undo the screw all the way. I just back it off. Okay, there's your needle and seat, metering lever, and your spring. Okay, put that spring aside. The rest of this stuff can go. I'll keep it here for now. Okay, make sure that that hole isn't plugged. Look, you can see right through it there. So this carb's actually really clean. It's been sitting way too long. Okay, now all I'm going to do, prep the gaskets, clean everything. I'm going to pull these jets out. Don't worry about your screw settings. That jet looks like it's not mashed over. Okay, I'll spray a little carb cleaner in there. Let's get this jet out. High speed, low speed, they are different typically, so don't mix them up. They are a different profile. You can see that one's more tapered. Do not reef these down. If you reef them down, guess what? That steel will gull the carb body and you'll need a new carb. So, okay, I'm just going to clean this thing up real good. All this junk here, all this, get this gasket off. And then we'll build us a new carburetor, okay? Hold on a second. Here's the carb body, all shined up. Okay. Now I'll just clean the jets and everything else, and then we can assemble it. It's pretty easy to rebuild a carb. Don't let it scare you. Okay, everything's clean. I will start by putting the jets back in. Right here, one jet. Ooh, wrong hole. Oops. Okay, screw these in just till they seat. Okay, screw this one in just till it seats. Look, gentle, okay? Just my fingers like this. Okay, just till they stop. Now I'll take each one and go half, 1, 1 1/4. Half, 1, 1 1/4. I think I did that one wrong. Well, let's do it again. Half, 1 1/4. There you go. Okay. That should get us up and running. No issues. Okay, I'm going to grab my carb kit. This is just a random aftermarket carb kit. I've used darn near all of them over the years, and they're all pretty much the same. So don't fret about which kit you use. The aftermarket Tillotson carb kits, never really had an issue with any of them. And I've used a bazillion of them on and off the channel. Okay, let's grab this. The only thing I'm going to reuse is the spring. Okay, this one right here. Okay. And the rest of the stuff I'm just going to toss in the trash because I won't be using it. One thing, there are different needles for Tillotsons. Make sure they're the same length. These are. So again, get rid of that. Okay. Metering lever. Put it like that. Put your pin through there. Now again, hopefully I can do this on video. Okay, we'll start by putting the needle in there. I'm going to zoom you guys right in so you can see. Okay, metering lever with the shaft. Put your needle there. Try not to drop it on the floor. That was close. Okay. I start it like this. Now, hold it kind of back at an angle. Drop it in there and then push the spring down. And at the same time, push that little lever into there. Okay. Oops. There you guys go. I'm going to push this spring back in so that it's captured by that little detent. Okay, there you go. Hold it all down with your thumb. Grab the screw. Cinch it down, not too tight. Now, make sure you have movement. Adjustment for this. Okay, this one's too high. See how it's above the floor of this chamber? I want it about level. So the way I do this, I just hold my thumb on there, bend it down. Okay, now you look. That's a little too low. There is a tool for this, but I expect most of you guys don't have that tool, so. Okay, this should be good to go. I'm just going to go just a hair higher. Just a hair. Okay, all that controls is how much this opens. If you have it too high, it'll open too far. Okay, put this on down there so you guys can see. Grab your gasket, make sure the holes line up. Now, I know this is the right kit. I always tell people to compare their kits. Now, this right here, again, that little tab hooks in the end of the metering lever, okay? See if I can do this on camera. Oh! I was asking myself, I wonder if that compressor is going to fire up soon. I got a slight leak in one of my fittings. Okay. Clip this into the end, just like that. Okay, this side is gasket, then diaphragm, then the cover. Okay, put that together like this. Put your screws in. There we go. Okay, guys, I'll put all 4 screws in. Okay, like so. Now, the other side. Diaphragm. Again, keep flipping it around until it lines up. Like so. Okay, and again, these 2 little flaps control the fuel coming in and out. If those aren't bendable, you need a carb kit. Okay, just like that. Take your cover. See if I can do this on film. There's little tabs on here that you got to get to line up. And if I held the cover the right way, it would actually line up. Okay, there you guys go. Oh, I forgot to clean the back side of this. Oh, well. Do that after. And again, 4 screws. That's a rebuilt carb. People always ask me about Welsh plugs. Well, I typically only take those out if I think I got an issue. If I got a carb that's really dirty, this one's clean inside, so I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe we'll do a video one day on doing Welsh plugs. I typically don't mess with those unless I need to. It's more trouble than it's worth, I would say. Okay. Again, these saws are just for me. These are junk carbs off of junk saws that I bought years ago. And I kept them for the sole purpose of maybe one day I'm going to port an XYZ saw and I need a carb for it. Okay, I'm just going to scrape that little bit off. Okay, there we go. Let's mount this on the saw and start getting this thing ready to assemble. Okay, I got the saw kind of propped up. I hope it stays put. I wonder if I go like this. These saws are harder to work on when you don't have the handle on them. That'll work. So you guys can see. Okay, a couple of things with these. Don't ever reuse your gaskets. Well, try not to. Okay. Many saws. This is a 394 gasket. And it fits. A lot of your Tillotson kits come with these. These are okay too. I'm not sure if I want to mess with that on this particular saw. So I think I'm going to try this 394 gasket. 394 Husqvarna. Okay, put this all back together. There's a little tab on here that needs to line up. I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to back off on the idle screw that I made. So I think that's going to fight me. Okay, put your 2 screws in here. Put your carb gasket. Make sure it lines up with the impulse hole. It does, so that's a good thing. Okay, now I'm just going to grab my screwdriver. Get these started. And my gasket fell off, and my saw fell over. Well then. Okay, friends, let's just do it this way. Hold on. I want you guys to be able to see, because if you can't see, then I'm just some weird guy talking to myself in my shop. And that's not good for anybody, is it? Okay, I'm going to line this back up, put my screws where they go. There we go. Sorry if my hand's in the way. Just want to get these started before my gasket moves. There we go. Like I said, these saws are really easy to work on. I've worked on far worse than this. These are a cinch. In fact, I'd say this is probably one of the easiest chassis to work on. Okay, put that there. Make sure everything's lined up. I'll cinch these down. Not too tight, but tight enough. Cinch, cinch. I'm going to take this idle screw. I'm going to screw it in until it just touches. May need a little bit of adjustment. I think I'm actually going to weld a pad onto the end of here. Here, I'm just going to bend that over. Okay, well, if the throttle races when we start it, we know what the problem is. Oh, ignition issues. If you have a bad ignition on one of these, right here, see that little clip? 9 out of 10 saws that I've had have no spark. That's grounding out on the kill wire, okay? So, just a little something. Just a little something to make you guys aware. This screw right here, I'm going to loosen this off. There's a wire that goes to there that grounds the handle to the body of the saw, and it grounds there. This loops around and goes to the kill switch. So the only thing left is other end of our new fuel line. Now this part is a little hokey, but I think it'll work. Okay, I'm just going to cut this, cut it straight. Our fuel line's got to make a decent loop because this is the wrong carb, right? So I think I can actually cut it down a little more. This is that Echo fuel line. I always use this stuff. Best fuel line you can buy in bulk. It's available. Well, you can buy it from your dealer. Or all the other places we all get saw parts. Okay, well, there you guys go. A 266 carb on an Echo. And I think it's going to work. Looks factory, doesn't it? Okay, guys, that is standard for pretty much all carbs. If you got a carb you need to rebuild on a chainsaw, that's pretty much how they all go together, more or less. There are different settings for your metering lever height. You can check online and download. Most manuals are available. There's also carburetor specific or brand specific tools. I don't have mine out today, but maybe I can find it. But there are tools available just for setting up the metering lever height. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and I'll see you in a couple days. Later.